Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this another episode of the Saudi Press Show. Tonight is Wednesday night, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know. And of course, tonight is customary where we look at educational matters. Our topic tonight basically will be back to school. We're just going to look at how things are looking for the reopening of school, for the new school year, where I personally have been experiencing challenges, and I'm sure many of you out there are experiencing more challenges than I am. However, how do we look? How does our Jamaican school system look in terms of readiness for September 4? Guess what? So much so, I don't have all the answers. So I'm expecting you to come in and give us your take on what's happening. However, there are some topics that we want to look at. We want to subtopics, I should say, really. That will help us to guide our thinking and our reasoning as it relates to back to school for this time around. And we will share with you in a little while. Let me give a special welcome to all our first time viewers. And also, we want to say welcome to the very faithful, to who are always there. And for some of you who comes and goes, it doesn't matter. As long as you are part of the Saudi Crest family, I want to say welcome and thanks for joining. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me. Help me to have this show going on and on. Help me to guide the discussion tonight. So I ask of you to share your chat. You can call, ladies and gentlemen. You can call in and to share your views. All right. So look at the screen. At the lower end of the screen, you'll see the calling number. WhatsApp or straight if you want. 876 501 6625. I repeat, 876 501 6625. That's the number for you to call in. And of course, you could text through the YouTube live chat or wherever you are. All right. So again, I also want you to like the show. Yes, give a like. Just don't sit back. I know sometimes you just want to relax and get the good content in. And also, I would like to acknowledge you once you come on the show. So don't be afraid. Get in the live chat and do your thing. If you find out that you're unable to get in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, it's highly possible that you have not yet subscribed. If you have just subscribed, it may take you about 3 or 5 minutes before your subscription is activated. Hence, you will not be able to run the chat right there and then. But I'm sure that you'll be able to once you subscribe. All right? If you are not hearing me clearly, just indicate that as well. All right? Everything is fine from my side. So, there are some things we want to look into. And going forward to the next school year. You know that for the past 3 years, especially in the time where COVID has hit our ground, where hit in such a way that it actually put our educational system a bit, I don't want to say backwards, but it slowed us down, especially teaching and learning. Not so much the entire system, but the teaching and learning. Because, we have never experienced anything like this before. And because of such, it took us a while to get in the groove to make things possible. You remember online learning. Well, it's not just a thing of the past. I'm happy for that because we still continue to do virtual teaching and learning. And why is it important? There are so many factors that would have hindered a face-to-face class a day, a two, or sometimes a week for some students. But if it wasn't for COVID, ladies and gentlemen, we wouldn't believe, we wouldn't know that we could take this thing to another level. Yes. So we want you to just bear in mind, yes, and to see how best we can do such of these things. Now, I want to big up our sponsors, the Saudi Crest sponsors, right? Toad and Nose Heating and Cooling System coming out of New York. Toti, which is the Taste of the Island restaurant out of St. Petersburg. Dallas Fine Cut Barbering, managed and owned by PIVA chairman Dallas Harris. Juki's Shipping, coming out of Bronx, New York as well. Solid Rock Black Factory, Maypen Clarendon, owned by Fitzroy Thomas, aka Wazim, Messam, Basil, a whole lot of other sponsors. And as we continue, we will highlight them as we go along, ladies and gentlemen. So just don't be afraid. And we want to just play one particular clip, just a clip from one of our main sponsors for tonight's show. All right? So just bear it in mind. And let's.
Hey, St. Petersburg, how wanna do? This is Delcita, actress and comedian in Jamaica. You know, I tell you this. Recently, I was in St. Petersburg, and I was like, wonder if I can find anywhere that can make me feel like I'm in Jamaica. And to my surprise, just like I'm in my kitchen with my mangoes and my banana and my breadfruit. Look here. You can get these kind of breadfruit. See here? My sweet potato and my yam and all that sort of thing. You can get them same place in St. Petersburg. And you can get everything under one roof. Where can you go? Taste of the Islands. Taste of the Islands supermarket and restaurant. And you see like how gas prices go up and go up and go up and plans to come back down, you know. Try do everything under one roof. You can send your JN money transfer there. Yes, man. And top up your family overseas with them flow and them digital credit. What you saying? You never know. Taste of the Island 727321415. Exciting thing that you can eat same place. So let's say you go there and you feel like a peckish, them cook up nice scrumptious meals, and you can get all your nice cut off meats, your chicken, your goat, your oxtail, your pork, everything. You know, hear me say everything under one dege roof, then you don't know. If you're sending barrel, they do barrels too. Yes, they do shipping to the Caribbean. Call them, man, or visit their website to look at all their services. www.toti.com. Toti.com. Yes, man. Taste of the Islands. You get it? Yes. Call them at 727-873-7559. Tell them they'll see to send you. Let's go again. 727-873-7559. Toti. Taste of the Islands.
As I mentioned, superstar Delcita there, bringing out Taste of the Island restaurant. So that's our main sponsors for tonight's show. Taste of the Island restaurant, coming out of St. Petersburg, and anywhere you are in that close proximity, or even if you have to drive for 2 hours, you can go to Toti to get all of those things that Madame Delcita spoke about. She has been there and she knows what it is like. So big up to the manager, Leo Parker Anderson, for that great restaurant. And it's not just restaurant, if you notice. Everything. It seems like a one-stop shop. Good. So Sardi Chris is always there. Whenever I go to that area, I must visit Toti. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, let's just basically look at a few things. Back to school. What are the things that we have to bear in mind going back to school, ladies and gentlemen? It's always a challenge for parents. It's always a challenge for our students going back to school. But this is one thing what we want to look at today. And there are some very good news coming out of the Ministry of Education. Yes, as it relates to back to school. Now, the distribution of e-books for public secondary institution. E-books, ladies and gentlemen. I mentioned earlier that during COVID, we have to resort to online teaching and learning, virtual. And we have used different platforms, whichever would have suited a particular school, a particular student, or an entire community. we have decided, and of course, thanks to the Ministry of Education, they have bought into Google Meets. Yes, and that has helped us well. Many of us, including myself, we were way behind as it relates to virtual spaces. I must tell you the truth. Yes, we knew about WhatsApp. Yes, Instagram, all of these things, But how many of us knew that we could have manipulated these platforms in such a way that would help you? Yes. So RR, big up yourself, man. Big up RR. Up and running, long vacation. Is it for me or for you, RR? Yes, I took a little break, RR. But saying this to say, my people, distribution of ebooks. What is ebooks? Ebooks are electronic books. And these are said to be ebooks from the public sector, or the public sector schools, secondary schools, grades 7 through to 13, ladies and gentlemen. But the question though, while it is a very good thing, and let me look at the positive aspect of the ebook right here. Let me look at it. Number one, it would save some money in our parents' pocket, yes? It will save them in such a way that they wouldn't have to buy all these numerous textbooks, these costly, expensive textbooks for their students, their children, their guardian. So that will help them to save once they have internet. But the term, the mention of the internet here is another story. So leave that for a while. We're just looking at the positive aspect of it. So one, it is money that will be saved. And that savings could have now go towards expanding another level of the educational sector. Maybe increase the quality of meals, increase the quality of transportation. So we'll save on textbook with ebooks. That's one good thing. The other thing, more students, if not all, will be able to access the books at the same time or whatever time. Using these ebooks, it will allow students and teachers with students, students with students, it doesn't matter. But the entire teaching and learning sector would be able to comprehend or to communicate at the same time via online. You will be able to, as parents, to communicate through ebooks with your own student. Let's take, for example, when I said that. Let me explain what I mean when I say communicate to your own parents. Let's say you're living abroad, yes, or you're away for a month or maybe a week, and your child is still here in Jamaica, and you normally assist your child or your children with homework, assignments, whatever the case is, then both parents and students now can access the book. Unlike when you have the textbook, only one place that textbook can serve is a face-to-face matter. So that's another positive that comes from the ebooks. There are a lot more positive. But with all of these points that I've made, and this is all my view, with all of these points, and you can share it too if you have a different idea, if you see it differently, you can share it. But one of the things that I want to look at as it relates to the ebooks, I mentioned internet, yes? But are we still have the challenges with internet? Let's go further. Are we able to manage ebooks with the quality internet service that we have here in Jamaica? Will the data on our phones be enough? Will this ebook, how much megabytes, how much bandwidth is needed for us to properly access ebooks? So, not just a negative, it's not a negative, but a concern with ebooks. So, one concern is that the stability of our internet connections here in Jamaica, enough, especially in our rural areas, I can tell you, it's not good where I'm at, neither at home or at school. But we have to make good of what we have, of course. Relating to internet service to people, if you remember that the government of Jamaica, the Ministry of Education through the Ministry of Science, Technology, and Finance, has embarked on a program, an internet program, a school internet program that will help to in terms of giving our rural communities, our rural schools access to internet. So the Ministry of Education has their own internet, if you want to call it that. Internet that is supplied by satellite. So that was the first move the Ministry of Education made. So yes, there are some systematic movements which we believe is very good. Now the challenge with that internet service from the MOE is very unstable. So I'll call on the powers that be to look into their internet service, look into the matter of getting that upgrade version of what we have here. Without internet, ebooks will not work. Without proper internet service, the ebooks will not work efficiently. So I'm calling on the minister and all the other persons in the respective fields with regards to this internet. There's a lot more need to be done. While we are happy for it, but the matter of ebooks come to the point now. What I would like to know, I would love to know, and I'm sure many of you would like to know that too. How much megabytes, how much data, what's the bandwidth necessary, what's the need to get or to use these ebook in a very useful way. So that's one challenge or question. The other thing, people, don't mind that for us to use the ebooks, you need a proper device. Now, this one, as it relates to the device, we can't ask much more of the government. And I'm without any apology, people. Why we can ask them to assist somewhere, but they have been assisted. And I think people, parents, and well-wishers for different students, there are a lot of you who have done a lot of work in your communities, giving back to students. It's very important that every single child going to school now owns at least a 7-inch tablet. And of course, with proper specs that can take in the ebooks, specs that can carry out certain loads of information. Specs will give you, will show you the amount of memory, not less than, let's say, a 128 megabytes of memory. Yes, or gig. It's not megabytes anymore, right? This is what I'm trying to explain now, people. That while the government over the past couple of years have been issuing tablets and laptops to students, parents and guardians, also, if you are not in that category where you received a tablet or a laptop, instead of buying your students expensive phones, think twice, buy a laptop. And I will just even mention, not just laptop for high school students, but your students who are visiting or who are attending primary schools, especially grades 4, 5, and 6, they must be able to manipulate and to manage with care and safety a laptop. Because in another few years, they'll be moving on to high schools. So, on this slide, parents, it is with you now to make that decision. All right? I still believe, yes, that the laptops and tablets that were given to our students may not have a long life. But with care, I believe it should be able to take them through a good 8 years. So those in the high school, you should be able to go through high school with that laptop. If it needs a little upgrade, if it needs upgrade, I think you should be able to do that, parents. You see, there's too many times, and personally, I sometimes hit hard and what would I say no, not really criticize, but talk about certain things that the government, the Ministry of Education, per se. But we have to give unto Caesar what is due unto Caesar. So it was a very good move. It could have been better. It should have been better. But of course, let's just take it for what it is. Let us be satisfied. Let us try to make it better ourselves. Because I have known students who have received tablets and laptops, and within 3 months, they are not working properly. Some of them, of course, are device issues, yes? But the carelessness of our students and parents some of the time, yes, would have given rise to some of these devices being down. So the two challenges right here, people, proper device and good internet connection. Without those, then the ebooks will not work. And let me hasten to say that the students that suffer the most as it relates to internet or the access to the internet, I must say, is those in the rural communities. You and I know that the data on our phone don't last long, right? The megabytes are the gigabytes. And if you're gonna use it for school and use it for play and use it for work, then that's a terrorist attack as it relates to use of that for education. All right. Now, there are some important points that we want to look at here as it relates to the ebooks, the distribution of ebooks. Yes, some important points, and I want to try my very best to bring them on screen. Yes, and to see how well we can zoom into them to ensure that we have this present. All right. So, as we mentioned, let me see if I can find this one. Not finding it right now. Hold on. Just too many people, but I'm going to take it because I want to go through it and I want you to have a clear understanding as well of how this is all about. All right. Let's see if this is it. Hopefully. Wrong one. Wrong one, me people. Wrong one, me people. All right. But in the meantime, what I want to bring to you or bring to your attention is the fact that the steps will be given, steps and procedure of how to use, how to manage, how to manipulate these ebooks. And that's what I want to bring about. That's what I want you to understand, that the government doesn't just put it out there and say, hey, this is it, you know. No, they don't, to be honest with you. So they have given all of us an opportunity to understand how to do it. Still not this one. All right. But I am sure as night follow day, that if we follow these steps, yes, these examples, we will be able to manage it. All right. We will be able to manage it. So people, brace yourself. Braced for not just an improved, I never have said it right now, my people. Not just an improved, not just an improved education system what we want, but one that we should embrace. All right. So this is what we tried, and you are seeing the subject here, people. This is a bulletin that came out, distribution of ebooks for public secondary institution, just like what I put up there. All right. Now, they are categorized. And if you notice what it says there, it is being categorized in terms of grades. All right. So, you see that table, that 3 columns table, and the subject, grades, and so on. So there are a number of subjects, and let's just look at the number of subjects that are, especially, let's look firstly at grade 7 to 9 subject areas. Yes, we have integrated science students. It's an integrated science 4th edition, exploring science. That's for grade 7 and 8 people, grade 7 to 9 rather. All right, so we also have English language teachers and students, of course, and it's English for all revision. All right, so all of the revised edition, it is all revised, and when you look at it, you have the 2nd edition also for English matters. All right, if you go across that column there to your right, the final one, it is for grades 10 to 12. Is that so? Let me double check. Grades 10 to 12, 10 to 11. All right. So grades 10 and 11. So English for all CXC, and it's the revision edition. All right. Developing language skills. Yes. An English course for Caribbean secondary schools, CSEC examination book. And so, what I am saying, all students from grade 7 through to 11 in the first set of high school years will have access to these books. All right. The question may ask, or I'm sure that there are questions that will come, how do you get these books and how do you access them? Don't worry, it is there. All right, so let us look at criteria now. Criteria for selection of students to receive ebooks. All right, so it seems as if not everyone will definitely get an ebook, yeah? Or how do you receive this ebook? So we are saying a criteria for selection of students to receive ebooks. Students should, 1, own or have access to an electronic device, laptop or tablet, just like what I mentioned before. So if you don't have a laptop or a tablet, you can't access the ebook. Mhm. That's the first criteria. Number two, or the second one, have access to the internet. They are saying that school level access is sufficient for initial downloads. All right. So the question that I ask, or the concern that I have as it relates to the strength or the how good the internet is, this explains. So they are saying that the Ministry of Education internet service that is posted in schools, yes, they will be able to access, and it is sufficient to download information from the ebooks. That's what it is saying. So again, kudos to the Ministry of Education. Big demo, big demo. One thing though, I must say that remember I mentioned these are these internet service that we have at school or in our schools that were placed that is supplied by or via the wireless, or should I say satellite. Whenever it rains or the wind is strong, the internet get weak or left us. It just goes away. All right. Now, again, another criteria is that student, for you to get ebooks, you're not to be assigned a hard copy of the book or books. So it seems now, or in my estimation, if you can read, you probably can, I mean, have a sensible discussion around this thing. You can actually look at the information that I am reading to you or what I am presenting, and also come up with your own views. So if there are some students that given hard copy, which I suspect the students who don't have device or internet will have to be given hard copy. So you can have hard copy and the ebook. Very good. Please note the following important information regarding ebook codes. I'll just touch a few. But activation reminder people, the ebook license code must be activated within 30 days of receipt. So if you go to school on the 4th and on the 10th or wherever date you get your code, it must be activated within 30 days. If the ebook license code is not redeemed by the 30th day, the student/teacher runs the risk of having the license revoked. Teachers, parents, I'm not sure students are watching. Friends, remember this, if you have not redeemed your code, yes, if you don't activate the license within 30 days, you are running the risk, right, of having the license revoked or removed. Get that straight. So not because it be ebooks, it will be always there. You have to get in from day one. Code, listen, code revocation, and listen, they are saying that on the 30th day, if the ebook code remains unredeemed, students will be informed that the code will be revoked within 7 days. All right. So before the 30-day coming up, based on the emails addresses that you have given in registration for this code or for the ebooks, they will actually inform you within 7 days. All right. So at least you'll get a reminder. All right, people. Reassignment. Okay, right. Well, I tell you, there's so much in it for us, Reassignment. The Ministry will reassign unredeemed codes to other students if they have not been redeemed within the specified time frame. Wow. So it seems like you get a second chance. Seems like you get a second chance there. All right. So we'll not touch any little on that part of it because there's a lot more information that will be shared within specific or in specified institutions. All right, people. So again, it's very, very important that we follow these things. And I promise, one thing I must say that some of us as teachers, has been a bit lackluster in getting through with ebooks over the past year or two. Let me tell you why. It is the same thing. The ministry has spent millions of dollars procuring these ebooks. And for some strange reason, people, we have not used them. Many of the codes were revoked. Many of those codes were revoked because it takes too long. We take too long to activate these codes. So all those millions of dollars just go down the drain. I am suggesting to all of us, to entire Jamaica, keep on reminding our students, keep on reminding our parents, keep on reminding our teachers, keep on reminding our principals about these codes. It's very, very important. All right? Very, very important. I want to say this to say that sometimes, yes, sometimes we believe that we can manipulate whatever we get and use it whenever we want. But the longer it takes, people, the longer it takes, put us in a bit of problem. All right. So that's ebook, people. That's one of our subtopic that we want to look at. One of our subtopics. But today, people, Minister Favour Williams, yes? Is it today or yesterday? She had a press conference and she said that most things, yes, most things back to school are on track. You hear that? Most of the things back to school are on track. They're on track. One of the big issues, though, one of the takeaway in her meeting, and I'm happy for that, and teachers, parents, and students, it's an eye-opening. There's the issue of teacher recruitment and retention. And over the past couple of months, the buzzwords or the buzz terms or the buzz information as it relates to teachers is that we'll have a mass exodus of our teachers. A number of our teachers will be leaving our country. But Minister Favour Williams has assured us, yes, that will not be so for this term. Yes. It will not be as such. Minister said that there's a major decline in the teacher resignations for this school year. Wow. What a sign. This sounds good, man. The minister is saying that a major decline. It is a major decrease in the number of teachers who have resigned as opposed to last year. But the data, let me just capture some data that was mentioned. January to September 2022, listen now, between January to September in 2022, 1,538 teachers has resigned or did resign. Let me go again. 1,538 teachers resigned from the classroom post between January and September of last year. That number, people, says that it is a mere, it was a 6.2%. Yes, it is 6.2% of the sector. So that 1,538 teachers who resigned last year, that is just 6% of our teachers. Why did we have so much problems replacing 6% of our teachers last year? Why is that so? But what is interesting for this year, the minister stated that only 427 teachers have resigned since January to present. And you know that 427 teachers, represented 1%, just over 1% of our teachers. Just over 1% of our teachers. That's what the data is saying. But I am wondering if this is too early for the minister to celebrate. Is it too early for us to celebrate that we won't lose a lot of teachers? Let's not be frightened. Let us not start to sound the trumpet yet, because we still have 2 weeks or a little over 2 weeks to the start of the new school year. What I am saying though, Minister, what I am saying to you, Jamaica, I am sure that it is highly possible. Let me take back the sure thing, but it is highly possible that over 400 teachers have not yet resigned. So I think when it comes to September, people, between September and October, we'll realize that actually be doubled. Maybe in September it becomes 850. I am sure that many teachers have left Jamaica already and have not yet submitted their resignation. But it's still good news, eh? Comparing to last year, still under 1/3 of what happened last year has resigned. But even with this 427 resignations, the Ministry of Education has placed a number of, what would I say now, activities or a number of solutions to these problems. Yes. So they found a way to bridging the gap. And she mentioned that, it has been, this year has been a better year for teachers. A better year in the sense that we have more teachers guaranteed in the classroom than last year. And if you follow the numbers, that is so true. What say you people? What's your view on that? So Minister Williams, I'm sure that when it comes to September, you will come with another story, yes? Another set of numbers. All right? Now, let's look at the measures that the Ministry of Education has been put in place. Let's look at the measures. Because there are a number of different things. And remember, we say it's a major decline. You remember last year, people? You remember last year that up to the end of the school year, there are so many posts were unfilled, right? So many posts. I have some information that I will get back to you later on with the aspect of the ebook. All right. So we want to look at the measures put in place by the Ministry of Education to combat these teachers who we believe will be going out. All right. Now, previous shows we have had conversation and discussion of how we could and should, yes, deal with this. But the latest information, and once it's a late information, we have to get this out, eh? All right. So there's a bulletin that we have to look into. So the subject, and we mention what is the measures put in place. All right. So the teacher recruitment and retention strategies for the 23-24 academic year. Look at that. All right. So the very first one, school board empowered to take early recruitment decisions. That's what they are saying. So this bulletin came out some time ago, and it is of this view that the ministry believes to ensure that the students have their teachers at the start of the school year. The school boards are empowered to take early recruitment decisions, meaning you can employ, you can engage, well, not so much employ, but engage teachers before, the regular time that we would be doing our interviews and so on. So pre-approval is granted for the replacement of teachers in clear vacancies, and I want you to get this clear. Pre-approval is granted for the replacement of teachers in clear vacancies and those in temporary posts funded by the ministry. Listen up. And as indicated at the regional level, so every region, this includes recruitment, replacement of teachers, staff who have retired, resigned, and were granted leave in schools that are not overstaffed. You see, not overstaffed. There's a serious issue of overstaff in our schools, but that's for another topic, another show. So we are saying that once you have gotten resignations, you have known of teachers going on their leaves, their vacation leave, and teachers who are going on retirement. You, the boards of individual schools, was given the mandate to do recruitment. So let me get this one straight. Not engage, not employed, but to recruit. All right. So that's the first one. The second one is engagement of teachers on approved vacation leave. That's a given, people. Once persons are going on their vacation leave, it's customary that they are being replaced for the period of which they go. One of the things that we ought to understand and know is that within our educational sector, our teachers, we have over 25,000 public sector workers, our teachers. Approximately 2,300 every year would have access vacation leave or study leave. So that percentage, so look at it now, 2,300. So we are expecting that 2,300 teachers will go off on vacation leave, whether it's for 4 months, 8 months, or for those who are going on study leave. 1 year, 2 years. We know that these 2,300 teachers will be replaced. But strange, that was the case last year. That many of us believe that those were the teachers who resigned. But you can imagine 2,300 plus the 1,538 teachers. That is giving us 3,838 teachers who were out of the classroom last year. How many of those teachers were replaced? Can I safely say now, when you add this 427 teachers to the 2,300 going off, it's basically 2,727. I am not so sure that we'll be able to replace all these teachers. But at least the fact of the matter is you can engage teachers or recruit teachers based on the number of teachers in your school who have given approved vacation leave. So that's one other measure that the Ministry of Education has put in place. All right. The third one, extension of service for teachers scheduled to retire this year. So those teachers who will take up retirement come September 1. The board of governors of any school who have such teacher, yes, can give or request an extension for those teachers or teacher. As it stated, school boards may request the extension of teachers who are scheduled to proceed at retirement effective September 1. So that's another measure. They are saying that you also can engage part-time teachers. That's a tricky one. Approval is granted for schools boards to employ teaching or teachers using the part-time facility to engage trained individuals who may not be able to commit to a full-time work schedule. So are you always want to teach? You can come in for a few sessions, boss. No, teachers who already engaged, already retired. Yes, you can engage retired teachers. So who you know retired some 4, 5, 6 years ago, you also can engage. You can also engagement of pre-trained graduate teachers. So teachers who have not yet completed their years of study, have not yet received their levels of certification, whether their diploma or degree. But at this one, though, this particular one raised some eyebrows, people. And I'm going to share something that I've learned recently. There are so many of our teachers who have left teachers' colleges and have actually moved on to their overseas employment. So it's not just this seasoned or the experienced teachers alone, but especially for some of these specialized areas. There are persons recruiting for the overseas jobs, who I believe will have made contact to our colleges. So what is happening is that our colleges are training for the overseas market. Well, the minister and the Ministry of Education has even mentioned that there is a boost program. Yes, there's a boost program that is run by the University of the West Indies. And some 88 teachers who have trained in that level. They are also bonded by the Ministry of Education. So that 88 teachers who have graduated, they will have to teach in the public sectors. But surprisingly, people, the specialist areas, very few of those teachers who have trained in specialist area. And those are the areas, those are the subject areas that are moving away from Jamaica. All right. So again, it's easier said than done. But it is very good that the ministry has put in place some measures to help to reduce, yes, the shortfall of our teachers for the coming September. Now, every single day, and we are just about 2 weeks, there are some schools still putting out advertisement for teachers because as the days goes by, as the week goes by, they are getting resignations. A matter of fact, some persons has given verbal resignations. Yes, not not in writing. And we know that those persons already made themselves are already gone. They already traveled. They're already settled down in their next place of abode. They have settled down already overseas in their new jobs. And yet still, they have not yet submitted their resignation, people. Now, there's a number 9 that sometimes, and for those of you who are aware of multi-grade schools, and it seems like some schools now, most schools, if found that they are short on teachers, will have to do multi-grading. And multi-grading is basically merging of small classes. So that's number 9 strategy, people. So the ministry is saying that school may take the decision to merge smaller classes to reduce teacher demand for the particular subject area where possible. So in our primary settings, yes, we have the multi-grade system in the primary, where the classes are merged, the grades are merged. It works sometimes. It has been working for a number of years. Not that it is effective. Some of us who operate multi-grade schools and who teach in the multi-grade system have a lot of challenges. But because of the hard-working teachers, yes, in these institutions, would have made it easy and ensure that our students would have received much more than what they deserve. Yes, man, I can tell you that. Now, another technical aspect or tactical approach to this is use of the blocked timetable approach. Yes, many of it. But the last one that I'm going to look at, people, number 11, increase the use of information communication technology in the classroom. So it goes back to the whole aspect of ICT, you know? I can tell you though, whether you have 4, 5, 6, or 7 students opposed to 40 students, ICT must be used in our classroom in this stage and this situation that we are in. A matter of fact, not the situation, but this life, this century that we are in, ICT should be present in basically all our classes. So this one does not really hit me. Regardless of the size of the class, regardless of the shortage or the adequate or inadequacy of teachers, ICT should be a very important element in teaching. All right? So again, we want to really look seriously. We want to really get a closer look. And as soon as it gets closer to September, I'm sure that I'll be able to present to you proper data, effective data, data that capture the number of teachers who have resigned. Because I am sure that these 427 teachers that the minister mentioned, at least 400 of them are overseas, already overseas. And again, I say to you Jamaica, to everybody, that there's still maybe up to 400 other teachers who are already overseas and have not yet submitted their resignation. So those are not captured. That number of persons who have not submitted resignation have not yet captured in the Ministry of Education data. And I'm sure that the technocrat, the minister, I'm sure that she knows that. But you have to work by the data, people. So that is what the minister is going by. The data, the data, the data. All right. Now, let me show you something. Let me mention something. And I'm going to put this up right here. Let me take a sec. Now, I have gathered information. And look, let me read it again. Because I know that you have some people on the platform who are listening and they're not watching. And they're not watching because of a particular situation or situations. A number of Spanish teachers will not enter our classroom this year. And I use Spanish because I've gotten information that 96 to 97% of the cohort of Spanish teachers who graduated from a reputable teachers college this year are already gone overseas for teaching jobs. Let me repeat. 96 to 97% of Spanish teachers who all right, let me rephrase because I don't want it to seem as if these are experienced teachers then. 96 to 97 of our trained teachers who have or were expected to leave college this year who have not yet graduated. So that cohort, 96% of the cohort of these Spanish teachers who were expected to come out and come teach in the Jamaican system, they are out. They're already gone overseas. In the same institution, I have told unofficially that over 50% of the science cohort are also migrated. They have been recruited from college. So, Minister, the 88 teachers under your boost program, I wonder how far that will go. Well, at least you still have some. But you can imagine when we believe that we are losing our experienced teachers to the United States, the United Kingdom, to Dubai, to Cayman, to Bahamas, we are also losing those who don't have much experience in the classroom. You see how much those persons overseas value our human capital? They know that we are quote unquote bright, They know that we are intellectually sound. They know that we can manage whatever comes before us. And yet still, we are not embracing our own people. And I said embracing them because if it wasn't for some sort of, what would I say now, low income situation, we wouldn't have this sort of thing. You can imagine people, you can just imagine a student or some level of students will go through this year without a Spanish teacher of their own, without a physics teacher of their own. And they'll have to do much more work on their own as opposed to those who have their own teacher. So while the news, while the information of the drastic decrease in teacher resignation this year sounds good, but there's still a lot to look forward to. There's still a lot of issues surrounding the classrooms. Again, people, please let me take a break. Hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button, man, and give us something. Yes, this is the Sadiq Chris Show. So, Yes, thank you. Welcome back. But I have seen not much participation in the chat. Again, if you are trying and you're not going through, that means you have not yet subscribed. If you just subscribe, and it will give you about 3 to 5 minutes for your subscription to be activated. Again, remember, I must say to you that it's important that you hit the like button, yes, and help the Saudi Crest show. We have a lot of content to put across, yes, but it's very important that people acknowledge and like the content to show that the Saudi Crest show is doing well, and it has been one that giving you information in a very, very good way. All right, people, I want to thank all my subscribers tonight. I want to thank all my subscribers tonight. And if you see running the road to 1,000 subscribers, that is where we are now. Presently, where I'm at now, I'm not even sure how many subscribers where I am at. Let me double check to see if I can see. But the last time I checked, it was 900. So 907 subscribers, people. So thank you very much for your support. Thank you. Help us to grow this channel. Yes, I would love by the mid-September to reach 1,000 subscribers. It would be even better if by the end of August, in the next 2 weeks, mobilize your friends, give us a channel. Let them check, let them come and watch the shows, yes? Watch the content. If they like it, they, of course, like the channel. If you even don't like it at the moment, watch again. And if it takes 3 or 4 times for you to watch and watch before you subscribe, I don't mind. But I'm still asking for your support and your subscription. All right. So we're on the last part of the show, people. Remember to hit the like button. Remember to subscribe. Remember to share the content. So yes, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. All right. So I was saying no before I go to that. Yes, where a number of our teachers, especially Spanish teachers and science teachers, already leave a reputable teachers college, a popular teachers college, and already move on to the United States, the USA. That I was told they don't even send us overseas. Spanish teachers. So we still have a lot of issues, people. A lot of things to sort out. All right. So we look at the distribution of ebooks, we look at the teacher recruitment, we look at the number of resignation, yes, and also we have to further now look at how the different structures, how the different school settings are. Right around, I've done a little some visits to some primary schools in the rural area here. Yes, primary schools in rural area, it's very difficult, and many of these schools are suffering as a result of lack of funding. Yes, suffering because of lack of funding, people. And you all know that the grants from the Ministry of Education, the government, is very, very weak, very, very weak. And so, we want to assist in whatever way. Non-government organization, NGOs, you have to step up, you have to help. And people, it doesn't matter with it, boys, a government thing, right? We have to try our very best to ensure that the space that we send our students, our children, are comfortable, and they will learn, they will get whatever necessary for them to be a better person for tomorrow. All right? So, again, the government, the Ministry of Education, they have committed to putting more resources in our schools this year. I have seen that. Still not enough per se, still not where we would love for it to be, so we can, match up and do every little thing. But there's a effort for them to put in a little bit more resources. But we continue to say we need more. The government know that we need more. The private sector knows we need more. The parents know, the teachers, everybody knows. the school needs more resources. And with that, people, I want to just encourage you. Find a school to assist, find a school to give something, give back. There's a lot of community outreach program where giving back to students and schools. Continue to do so because it is now or never. We need to now put upon this serious business of the schools in an effort to get the best out of our students. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we leave it tonight. And of course, before you go, remember to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And when we see you the next time, I'm sure I will not be alone. I will have a special guest with you. For next Wednesday, remember to join me at 8 or 8:30 next Wednesday for another episode of our educational show. But this Friday night, please look out. We'll be having some pre-season schoolboy football feature starting this Friday. So look out. This may very well be the Friday that you see your school coming out. All right. So again, thanks very much. We're still looking forward for more support. Remember to like, remember to share the content, remember to continue to watch, remember to ensure that you support the Saudi Chris Show. This is where we leave you. And I will say pleasant good night to you all. Althea Williams, good night, Miss Althea. Thank you for joining. You're joining late though. We're just about to close the show, Althea, but I welcome you as well. And thank you for joining. Make sure you join me this Friday night, Althea, and we can continue to share with all our viewers the show. So again, if there's anything else that you want to say before we go, let me big up RR, man who's ever present and ever here. I know he's still at work, but he's multitasking, yes? And all of the others, our sponsors, I want to continue to say thank you very much for your support in this matter. And all looking forward for a show next Wednesday on education, moving closer to the start of school, where we present to you more information. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So goodbye until then.